Hello ladies and gents, today we're gonna be looking at Diablo 4 patch notes right before Malignant season update. This is season 1 of Diablo 4. Those patch notes was never before discussed or shown by myself or by anyone else. This is the very first day, just a couple of moments before those patch notes was available and was shown for us. And I'm gonna do something exceptional that I have never done before. I'm going to go through those patch notes with you while I will be listening to Diablo 4 tunes. If you're curious what kind of tunes I'll be listening to, you can just jump to my channel and see that I have plenty of those. Alright, yeah, these are the patch notes. I can tell you that there's a lot of patch notes. It will take some time for us to catch up. This was added, as you can see, 30 minutes ago. Okay, so first things, new unique items and legendary aspects have been discovered in Sanctuary. Use them to enhance your character in Eternal and Seasonal Realm. Those unique can be obtained from World Tier and Legendary. Okay, so we're gonna have 6 legendary items. Activation Spear of Lavender, Uber, unique staff, World Tier 4, gain random shrine effect for 10 to 15 seconds after killing an elite enemy. Oh, that's cool. Uber staff. Oh, that's cool. This is something like a Path of Exile that you can kill elite and get a random buff. This is cool, with of course some sort of limitation. So that's nice. Okay, what's next? Oh, so this is general. This is not class bound. Next one we have Azure Wrath, unique sword, lucky hit. Your core skills have up to 20% chance to freeze enemies for 3 seconds and deal cold damage to them. Okay. For Druid, Flesh Render, unique one-handed mace, debilitating roar and blood howl deal damage to nerve poison enemies. Also, those are like defensive skills that give some sort of defensive abilities to you, because you make your enemies weaker and you're turning those defensive abilities into offensive abilities. So that's not actually that bad. This is kind of cool unique that every sort of druid wants to have, if it's either wolf or bear. That's cool. Necromancer, Ildril's Wall. This is from Diablo 2. Lucky hit. While you have an active Bone Storm, hitting an enemy outside the Bone Storm has up to from 2 to 25 chance to spawn an additional Bone Storm at their location. Each of the active sacrifice bonuses increases the chance by 25%, and the total number of additional Bone Storms you can have +1. So Bone Storm, I believe it's an ultimate skill, not too sure, but I don't know, seems interesting. Rogue, Eagle Horn, unique blow. Penetrating shot has from 30 to 80% chance to fire an arrow that bounces off walls, and Scannery, hitting enemies from behind with penetration shot will make them vulnerable for 3 seconds. So 3 seconds is a long time. And penetration shot, this is unique bow, so that's cool. Bounces off walls, so similar to bone spear, right? So this is penetrating shot, but also like a Hanzo, scattered arrow. Okay, next we have unique wand, gain the effect of teleport, enhancement for free when you evade. Using you are taken to random. So this is a PvP focused staff. Scale power. Okay. I don't know. This could be cool. Oculus. Alright, so we finished up the items. Let's go with the legendary aspects. Audacity, when there's at least 5 close enemies, stun them from 2 to 4 seconds. You can only do the thing for every 20 seconds. Okay. You get 20 when moving away from slowed or chilled enemies. So I'm not too sure if you always... Yeah. I think if you always can stun your enemies, then it's gonna work. Otherwise, well, if you always can chill your enemies, then it's gonna work. Otherwise, it's just waste. So this is very specific build centric. Next up we have Barbarian. Ancestral Charge calls forth 4 answers who also deal charge dealing. Oh, that's nice. Druid, Cerebration offensive action. Poison Creeper also cast landslide in a circle around you. Earth skills deal 20 increased damage to poison enemies. Okay, so this is summoner specific build focused. Necromancer Gork Willis. Blood Lance will consume blood orbs, also conjure lances from them. Each additional blood lance deals from 20 to 50 of normal damage and prioritizes targeting unlanced enemies. Okay, so this is like a blood specific build focused. More rogue builds, more rogue items. Persistent points. Every third cast of punctures is poison imbued with 100 up to 100 of normal potency. I don't know, I don't understand this one. Sorcerer, Searing Ward's offensive aspect. After spending from 200 to 100 mana, you can next fireball. Your next fireball is free to cast and you will destroy incoming small missiles. So instead of slowing missiles, you can just eliminate them. I don't know. Sorceress, I'm not convinced. I don't know. Looks very specific. And that's that. Okay, let's so these are aspects and items that's gonna be added in Malignant. Let's check out what kind of bug fixes the team has addressed. Okay, accessibility. Made various improvements from accessibility perspective. Primary, many fixes to the screen reader where it failed to read specific elements. Okay. Challenges. Fixed multiple issues where specific challenges wouldn't provide the proper rewards or couldn't be completed. Fixed multiple issues where certain challenges could be progressed through unintended means. Fixed multiple issues where players could gain progress for certain challenges through the actions for other nearby players. Fixed multiple instances where activities that could not count towards the criteria for some challenges were not encountered. Fixed issues where what's happening? Fixed issues where players would not receive notifications for when one of their friends completed challenge. Okay, where feats of train. Final Slayer. The silence of Helen challenge remains unchanged. Fixed an issue where feats. Okay, so I believe this is a good thing. They have improved and fixed multiple cases where challenges are not being registered, therefore it's not being counted towards your forward momentum and forward progression in the game. So addressing those problems, of course, fixes the things and allows you to progress through the game. Otherwise, if those things are not fixed and those are not registered in the game, you need to repeat them. And when we are going to like level 100 things and you are defeating the boss solo, it could take hours upon hours, and having the thing where your kill is not being registered, it could be very damaging to your mental health. Okay. More cooperative play. Fixed an issue where the camera wasn't functioning properly when players were far apart in local co-op. Fixed issue where NPCs conversation boxes would overlap with multiplayer co-op. Nothing. Fixed an issue where the rogue's inner sight would only fill up for one of the players in a co-op session. Oh, that's a good bug to address and to find out if for that thing to exist at all. Let me just check if the thing is recording. Yes. Hello. Yeah, the thing is recording. All right. Fix the issue where the dark potential challenges would be granted to both players, when either player completed it, regardless of other player So good, because you can cooperative play. One player completes this, both of the players gets the reward. That's how it's supposed to be. Fixed multiplayer instances where quest progress would not properly synchronize or quest progression could be blocked for local co-op. Oh, that's a good thing that they addressed it. Fixed multiple issues that occur during cutscenes for co-op players. I don't know, seems like a very huge chunk of bugs that they have found and addressed and fixed. Wow, I'm very glad they have done it. Nice. Good for you, Blizzard, thank you. Okay, now the big chunk. Just a sec. Snack break. How's it going so far? Having fun? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and let's go to the dungeon updates. Okay, as we can see from the recent patch that was released just today, in dungeons they have fixed an issue where the players would not be able to receive enough animus to progress through the hollow accessory dungeons. Oh, I have never encountered this problem, but yeah, that's good. That's good that they have fixed it. Fixed an issue where the stone carving in the fallen temple capstone dungeon would duplicate. That happened. Where the runes that you need to pick up and drag to the end of the dungeon so that you could enter would just duplicate. I had like three boxes that I need to run to the end of the dungeon, but it had only place for 2, so 1 extra. It was weird, but okay. Fixed an issue where monster rain affix in a nightmare dungeon would also affect structures in that dungeon. Okay, so walls and stones would be affected by affixes as monsters. That's weird. Fixed an issue where Goatman, I love the name, Scrambling Corpse enemies would continuously respawn in Forsaken Quarry dungeon. That looks like an awesome, like, constant level up tactic, if we could turn back time. Okay, and next I fixed an issue where Sentinel enemies would not have weapons in the Bastion of Faith dungeon. I don't know, fixed an issue where the Bastion of Faith dungeon could sometimes not be completed. Fixed an issue where the players could respawn behind the barrier in Fallen Capstone dungeon. Yeah, I noticed there's some sort of teleportation happening within the dungeons, only within the dungeons. I have not experienced anything like it outside of the dungeons within open world or just in small cellars. Fixed an issue where the map for Crusaders Cathedral dungeon was incomplete, so most likely this was due to the challenges that we covered before that they have addressed. Fixed an issue where the Curse Indolence and Curse of the Weak would stack even while the player was dead in Fallen Temple Capstone dungeon. I remember this. The way to solve this would be just to go to the town, speak with the person that can heal you, and you return back to the game, and it's all fine. It's all Gucci. You're without the curse, even though you're supposed to have it. You're good. Maybe that's a bug. I don't know. It fixed multiple instances where Fog Door could not be progressed through in some dungeons. Fixed an issue where Monster Thorns affix in Nightmare dungeons was reflecting physical damage. It will now properly reflect non-physical damage. Okay, that's good, thank you. Fix an issue where blood boils would not properly spawn in Core Dragon Barracks dungeon. Yeah, I had the problem with those. Good, finally. Fix an issue where traps would do more damage than intended. Rogues. Fixed an issue where level scaling in level 100 Pinnacle dungeon was inconsistent. Okay. Fixed an issue where Awakened Glyphstone wouldn't spawn if the party leader left the dungeon before the dungeon was completed. Interesting bug. Okay, Bugs done. So now we're gonna be focusing on more of a gameplay. Bug addressing, as you can see here, there's a bar. If we move it a little bit left, it moves. So be sure that it will take some time and this bar will be moving, but keep in mind that this is a long patch note video, so be sure to check out the video description tags for timestamps, or just stick with me and let's read along what kind of things has changed, so we could know what kind of things to expect and what kind of things would allow us to be more powerful than we ever were before. Gameplay. For Barbarian, there was a fixed issue where the number of enemies to defeat for the Barbarian class quest monster was not displayed. Fixed an issue where Iron Maelstrom could be cast more than 3 times rapidly, casting Warcry. Fixed an issue where stacking Berserker, Rapid Spellbreak and enemy aspects would allow player to deal extreme amounts of okay, so Berserker have a nerf, those two ones. Fixed an issue where the outer edge of quakes granted to Hammer of the Ancients via aspects of was dealing far more damage than intended. What's happening? Barbarian is receiving so many nerfs. Wow, wow. So no more $1 billion damage? Okay. Cash money out. Okay, developer, we recognize this adjustment is significant decrease to the Hammer of Ancients Barbarian build, but we do not want this strength to be reliant on an underlying bug. Okay. Of course, you have to have explanation for everything, right? For Druid, fix an issue where Earth skills and Pulverized skills would consume 2 overpower buffs simultaneously. Does that mean more damage? Or no? Fix an issue where the bonus effect on a Blood Howl from Night Howler's aspect would apply twice to Wolf Companion, but not to all of the Ravens. Okay, fixed issue where provocation passive stacks would not abate properly, adding points to it. Okay, fixed an issue where automatic transformation from Unstable Fury would cause the resistant passive to not proc consistently. I don't know. Play the Druid for couple of 100 hours, I think. Never noticed. And that's the thing with Diablo. It's very easy to forget what kind of passive is where. Maybe that's the point why they are naming everything, so that we couldn't follow up with everything besides the active skills or ultimate skills. Okay. Fixed an issue where enhanced Pulverized buff would not remove itself while in town. Okay, fixed an issue where Seeking Tornadoes produced by Stormcaster aspect would not deal damage. Okay, fixed an issue where Raven's passage did not improve after skill was upgraded. Fixed an issue where Rabies would deal no damage while standing very close to an enemy. Fixed an issue where Stormclaw's aspect allowed Shred to do extreme amounts of damage. Okay. There goes your Shred Tornado build. But they didn't specify anything. They didn't say why. They did the thing for Barbarian. For Druid it feels like balance. For Barbarian it feels like Day of Reckoning. Alright, Necro. Fixed an issue where Necromancers could not obtain daggers from Brevier or Curiosities. Okay, fix an issue where Necromance minions would not have their life bonuses deactivating while in town. Okay. Fix the issue where Bone Spear cast through chilling wind from an elite enemies would increase number of generated echoes from the cast. So it's no longer going to generate additional resources. Fixed an issue where enchanting Bone Spear could cause erratic movement. Fixed an issue where canceling Blood Mist when it's already off cooldown would immediately recast it. Okay, so you cannot like frame it. You cannot be constantly immune to damage. So this is like a balance thing, but rest is like improvement. This is not such a... Maybe this one was chilling. So Necromancer is fairly good. He's good. What's happening? Rogue. For Rogue we have fixed an issue where Shadow Step would trigger an aspect of Uncanny Treasury if the target was killed. Okay, fixed issue where Advanced Penetration Shot would not knock down other players in PvP play. Fixed an issue where Twisting Blades would not come back when the ability killed a bloated corpse find enemy. Fixed issue where Dash skill would not move the full distance if the targeting an enemy while using a controller. Fixed issue where the Druid Bounty Paragon Known granted bonus resistances incorrectly. Rapid Fire had an extra arrow visual effects that behaved erratically. Fixed issue where the award Glyphstone wouldn't spawn for rogue players after using improved barrage. I don't know. It looks like more of a balance rather than nerf. I don't really see anything that would reflect or sense that there's going to be some sort of a balance for rogue, more or less like fixes and buffs for PvP play. This is a buff. Now instead of relying on chance, you know that this is going to be 100% that your Advanced Penetrating Shot will knock down the enemies. For Sorceress, fixed an issue where Firebolt enhancement did not contribute to the combustion key pass. Fixed an issue where the passive stacks generated by Align the Elements could partially reset in an unexpected way. Fixed an issue where casting Deep Freeze would not prevent the Ice Shard enhancement from triggering. Aspect of Control was applying its damage bonus 3 times for staggered bosses. So that's bad. Fixed an issue where Gravitational Aspect was appearing weaker on two-handed weapons or amulets. Okay, that's a good bug that to be addressed. Fixed an issue where the enchantment effect for Chain Lightning had no visual tracking bonus and could also unexpectedly drop off. Okay, fix an issue where Incinerate would immediately cost 30 mana when cast in addition to the consistent channeling mana cost. Incinerate now probably only costs mana as it is being channeled. So instead of clicking the button and you lose 30 mana, now you click the button and you start consuming mana. So this is a good thing. But I'm not sure how good this skill is. Incinerate is just... is it good? It's like Ice Shard just for fire. Moving to general, we can see devs fixed multiple instances where players could unnaturally teleport during boss encounters. Fixed issue where chest and the western waist could not be interacted with. Yeah, fixed an issue where the Eretim NPC couldn't be interacted with in certain situations. Breakable objects in the world would not be broken. Multiple instances where player could avoid damage from bosses if they poisoned themselves in specific locations. Okay. Fixed an issue where forged relics could not be interacted with. Fixed issue where monsters with a cold, bleeding, burning, or corruption affix would freeze players in one hit in nightmare dungeons with a cold enchantment affix. I saw this one. Yeah, this is crazy. I saw where you see enemy that is just making a one hit to you. You cast your uninterrupted skill, so you could break away from ice, and other enemy just slowly hits you and you're constantly on freeze. You cannot move, you cannot do anything. There's constant attacks of ice, and instead of you being slowed and you could move away, you're getting frozen over and over and over again. It was insane. It clearly looked like a bug or thing that you want to avoid forever. Okay, and the fact that resistances didn't work properly, that's just crazy. Fixed. Okay, and fix the issue where the chest spawn that would provide an infinite loot. Okay, I saw this one. Yeah, you can just click it and it just drops. Yeah, but it's good that it's fixed. Helltide and Fields of Hatred. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Fix the issue where the player could be damaged by Helltide Firestorm while standing in city. Okay. Where enemies resurrected by shamans would continuously drop air and cylinders in Helltide. Fix the issue where chain lightning could bounce indefinitely between the caster and other players' characters standing in Fields of Hatred. Down. Fix the issue where cracking energy could hit other players in Fields of Hatred. Down. We know, shocking. Fix the issue where players could not see other players that they should when re-entering PvP zone towns. Okay. Fix the issue where certain areas of the Fields of Hatred would incorrectly flag the tower, rendering the players unable to cast skills while being able to be damaged. Ooh, okay. So this is minor. Okay, easy. Items and aspects. Fix the issue where cost reduction bonuses from Ring of Sorceress. Why they didn't link the items? Could unexpectedly drop off, where aspect of Protector would trigger its barrier effect and after destroying breakable effect object. Wow. Ring of Misfortune had incorrect effects. Amber Staff Weapon didn't apply bonus damage to crowd controlled enemies, which inherent for all stable weapons. Okay. Issue where any character menu interaction would reset the bonus granted by intercom aspect. Any character menu interaction would be okay. Whoa. Fix the issue where maximum life affix on the marker of conflict item scaling improperly. Okay, so this means like there was an amulet that you can get from the quest, and this quest gives you an amulet that could get around, well, close to 1000 life, and the secret is for you to get to this quest when you get a very high level. Now this bug it appears it's a bug. It fixes it, as now it's going to be a fixed life, and it doesn't really matter what kind of level you're going to be doing the quest on, it's going to be fixed. So you can just go on and continuously make the quest. Fixed an issue where aspect power would also increase when upgrading an item at the blacksmith. Oh yeah, so this is a thing that was addressed again. I just saw the video where you can just increase the aspect power by upgrading it and then re-imprinting it to another item. So this was addressed, and this was a bug. Okay. Level requirements for sacred items now will cap at level 60. Okay, so level requirements for ancestral items will now cap at level 80. So, in order for you could play on World Tier 4, you need to, in order for you could equip items from World Tier 4, you need to be at least level 80. So there's no actual reason for you to play on the highest difficulty, so you could flex your muscles so much, because at the end you're just gonna get the best items on the World Tier of your level that you need to play on. So this is not so bad. I don't know. Fix the issue where Mother Embrace unique ring did not trigger properly with several abilities. Okay, let's. So these are kind of big changes. I think this is like this is something that I was expecting, but I was not expecting such a big drastic changes. And secrets that I just recently was familiar with now has been addressed as no longer working, or it was clearly a bug. So that's funny. Okay, let's go to the monsters. So speaking about monsters, there is an issue. They fixed an issue where items of higher power than intended were dropping from rare monsters. Warlock jumping attacks deal no damage when passing through. Issue where pointless gear around circles. Fixed issue where lightning and hand champion Goatman would fall to deal damage to the player. And okay, monsters with superior effect would be immune to damage from abilities started initially outside the immunity of the circle. Example, when a barbarian started a whirlwind cast before getting within proper range of the suppressed monster. I don't really get those where clones of monsters with suppressor effects could also have the suppressor effects. Fixed an issue where treasure goblins would behave erratically if engaged from long distance. Yeah, I noticed that. By the way, treasuregoblin.shop. Visit this website. Yeah, I have it here. Thank you. Fixed multiple other issues where monster behavior could not perform properly and could be exploited in some cases. So probably with the very same scenario as you could get additional items from Helltide, most likely the same thing where Shaman summons the monsters, you kill them and they drop more loot, or they drop loot at all, as it shouldn't happen. So we covered monsters. Oh, quests. So this is going to be, I bet, like a minimal quests. Let's see. Fix issue where the progress bar could not be filled during the Carvens Under Siege event. This we're gonna go through those extremely quickly. Champion enemies could not spawn during Ancient Obelisk. Radiant could not be completed. Honestly, fixing dungeon did not reset if the located was abandoned, so that's good. I think this is more of I don't know, I don't really care, honestly. I'm just gonna skip it. I have completed the story. I think if you're planning to play Diablo 4, or if you have played Diablo 4 before, those are very minor things, and we know that those things should work as intended, and I can't wait for team to fix those things and prioritize fixing problems before implementing new features and new stuff into the game. So I'm just gonna support the decision that they have made, fixing those problems, and I'm just gonna continue on playing as before. I didn't really face so much problems, but if those problems were worth fixing, I'm very glad that team have done it. User interface and experience. Let's go. Fixed an issue where minimap didn't accurately depict the game world during the Blind Eye quest. Fixed an issue where mapping complete for Lochstrait 3 in the South Glen. Portion of the map was invisible and Exalted Trace, that's true. Fixed an issue where Mad Bomber title would not display for enemies encountered through Whisper of the same name. User interface and okay, user experiences of our interaction with the game. I thought that like it's directly the experience points. Okay, you have cross-network player enabled. Message was being sent to chat each time campaign quest objective was completed. Oh, thank you. The cult leader Paragon passive no longer appears above hostile minions in PvP. Fix the issue where bonus from Basilic aspect displayed +0 to skills instead of +2 to bonus bar. Fix the issue where sigil sorting was inconsistent between inventory and the stash. An issue where the social tab on the auction wheel editing could not be skipped when navigating through controller. An issue where amount of gold would not be properly displayed when trading gold in large quantities. Also fixed an issue where the item comparison number would not be inaccurate in item quest. Multiple issues with map pin functionality. Multiple issues where quest and whisper markers weren't displaying. Improvements to consistent clarity, messaging, skill description, and tooltips. Various other user interface and user experience improvements. Thank you. Thank you for addressing those problems and fixing those. Okay, next we have miscellaneous. Fixed issue where completion music for defeating Avarice could start playing before the boss was defeated. I have this video on my channel. Check it out. This is a great tune. Always confirm skills before celebrating. Yeah, looks like Son Goku thing. Fix the issue where players couldn't send Battle.net friend requests to friends playing on console. Fix an issue where players could confirm if hardcore mode was enabled after logging in with a new character. Fix an issue where players that haven't unlocked a higher world tier could be invited into a higher tier world tier party. Fixed an issue where players couldn't transfer leadership of a clan. Good. But what's the actual deal with the clan? Fixed the issue where the sender of the party invite would not be informed that the invite failed due to incompatibility with the campaign prologue progress. And that's good. Fixed an issue where Nefran Spear would duplicate in cutscene where the player picks up. Fixed an issue where Meshev's camel made no noise. Okay. Oh, this is the desert quest that tornadoes can kill you. Camel has to make noises for you. Fixed an issue where there was no sound when Lara kicks Massive awake. Various other improvements. Oh boy, those were... Oh man, so much. I don't think I have ever read so many patch notes in a single sitting. How about you? Are you having a great time? What have you got planned for today? Really? Nice. Let's go. Okay, next we have loading screen updates. As Team Blizzard is stating, we've added more dynamic loading screens with the release of Season of Malignant. This includes adding more assets to the loading screen, such as your player character. So those going to be more interactive. So rather than having the sightseeings of different zones that we have seen already, we're gonna have Malignant wallpapers added into that mix. Thank you. Gameplay updates. Man, I sense the good vibes from Blizzard. Alternative Lilith unlocks are now account wide. Oh man, this is great. This is great. Map discovery is now account wide. For Hardcore 2, Whispers will no longer reward sigil dust. Not sure if this is a nerf or bonus. Mostly probably like nerf. Overall, loot quality has been significantly improved for silent chests. I don't know what silent chests is. Do you know? Let me know down in the comments down below. Help me out. The channel time for leave dungeon ability have been increased from 3 to 5 seconds. So it will take longer time to channel the escape from dungeon. Team Blizzards is saying that we have generally reduced the tendency for many monsters to move around in the combat, so that melee characters don't have to chase down their enemies as much. Added PlayStation 5 DualSense Edge wireless controller support for PC. What kind of this is? Check it out. Is it the cool one? Come on, this is gorgeous. How much is it? $200. Man, I wish I could have a controller. If you have, nice. World tier. Okay, in world tier updates, we have world tier 2 has had the following bonuses added. Bonus gold increases from 15 to 20%. Nice. Monster drop rates, more items. Just hope no more blue ones. We like where world tier 2 has landed overall, but are increasing reward base to better align with its difficulty. Yeah, there was a complaint that World Tier 2, when you were starting out, was not dropping enough items, so players would be rather spending time in World Tier 1 so they could gather up enough loot, so later on they could transfer to World Tier 2 for additional XP. So yeah, this is a buff. Thank you. Level scaling inside dungeons and most overworld territories has been adjusted. World Tier 3 and 4 monsters will begin to trail behind the player in level after a certain point, up to maximum of 5 behind. This change does not affect world bosses, legions, fields of raid, blah, 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 blah. What? Level scaling inside dungeons and most overworld territories had been adjusted in their world tier 3. So you could face monsters that are lower level than you. We want players to have better sense of their power progression and mastery over the world. They're still challenging to themselves with structure and game activities. Thank you for making such change. Okay, okay, we have examples. World Tier 3 example. If the player level is below 55, the monster is 55. If the player is 56, 55. If the player is 61, may... Oh, okay. So, if the player is... the monster is from this point to the... Oh, so the... Okay, so there's basically the point why we would need to level up, so that we could face stronger monsters. So instead of monsters would be in the same level as we are, the monsters would be lower than us. And World Tier 4... wait, if the player is level 1, the monsters... Yeah, if the player is 75, if the player is 76, 80, 75. If the player is 81... From this point onwards. Beautiful, beautiful. Addressing level scaling, as this was a major issue. Thank you so much. I hope that this is going to be a huge change, and this is going to change a lot of things. Thank you so much. Experience. Reward experience from completing 3 of Whispers. World Tier 3 and 4 has been significantly increased. We have observed that the experience bonus rewarded for killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to the relative challenge involved. We still want to reward players for taking on this challenge by encountering them encouraging them to participate in power leveling together instead of one player killing enemies while other member of their party awaits dungeon's entrance. Okay. More. We are adjusting bonus experience rewards for killing monsters that are higher level than the player. Pre-season of the Malignant bonuses. Pre-season. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Post-season of the Malignant is going to be... So this is just for 2 days. Pre-season. Post-season... okay, so this is going to be just a bonus for... So you get higher XP if you kill... if you kill a monster that is 10 levels higher than you, you are going to get 15% XP. Before, that is currently, you get... The maximum amount of XP bonus that you can get was 25. So now, there's actually no reason to stress that much. Unless you have super cool build and you kill monsters as quickly as you have ability to kill your level monsters. We are adjusting experience rewards for player levels offset for higher world tiers. Current world tier offsets world tier 1 up to 3. Experience rewards for monster level offsets. I don't understand offsets. Okay, example. Good. You are level 1, your friend leave you at the experience. Start killing 100 prior to scene. Yeah, so this is what we displayed. So this is what the offset is, just difference in levels. Great. I'm just going to check if we are recording. We are. Okay. We have Helltide. Helltide monsters are now 3 levels higher than the player instead of 2. The Tortured Gift Mystery Chest has had its cost increased to 250 cylinders from 175. It would be nice if this sort of chest would be visible, because it really sucks to have additional plugins, tools, and Discord websites and other sorts of things to show me where the chest is. The game could just show me. All interactive objects in Helltide zones now have small chance of dropping aberrant cylinders. Okay, so then what's the point of the actual cylinders, or just no, not the cylinders, the items that you can destroy within the zone? What's the point in having those? Okay, as our community continues to battle to burning hells, the build emerging from new players to have shocked and delighted us. Builds emerge from new players have shocked. We chosen to focus. Oh, this is the balance update. Chosen to focus Season of Malignant's balance update on clear itemization disparities over redesigns of class features. The class changes are largely focused on numeric increases to skill upgrades and legendary aspects that players haven't yet found compelling. Additionally, we're changing critical strike damage paragon glyphs to empower all damage increased instead of only core skills. Oh, that's great. To enhance more build strategies. Oh man, that's so good. I love that. Instead, there are also few class stat decreases on sources which grant extreme amounts of damage, healing, or unstoppable. In general, we prefer build specific changes to be bonus instead of decreases, but we feel those changes are necessary for the overall health of the game. Diablo 4 is a game that continuously evolving through its season, thus the adjustments we make will evolve with them. Beautifully said, beautifully said. That was very hard for me to read. but beautifully said. Okay, let's go through the first changes that are, oh my god, there are so many. Okay, I sense nerfs. Can you sense those too? Balance updates. Barbarian. I don't know why the text is here hidden. Skills. Violent double swing, vulnerable duration increase from 1 to 2 seconds. Furious upheal damage, bonus stack increase from 3 to 5. Power change cooldown is now capped at 3 targets for maximum of 9 seconds cooldown duration. Tactical ground stomp, full grain from 25 to 40. Okay. Enhanced death blow damage bonus to bosses increased from 100% to 150%. I love that. Enhanced steel grasp vulnerable duration increased from, I think this is like a pulling skill. This is like huge damage skill. Increased damage duration from 3 seconds. Enhanced rapture, this is bleed. Oh my god. Warrior's rapture attack speed bonus gives and duration increase from 4 to 5. Oh my god, so you can apply even more bleed faster. Fighter's rapture healing increased from 15% to 18% of maximum life. What? Whoa, hamstering now only slows healthy enemies, and slow amount increased from 10 to double the amount that was previously set, but it's only for healthy enemies. So it's PvP, mainly PvP essential skill, or boss only. No, mostly only PvP. Cut to the bone bleeding damage. Cut to the bone bleeding damage bonus to vulnerable reduced from 6% to it was slightly reduced. I think this is just a damage bonus to vulnerable enemies, so it's fine. Paragon. Wrath glyph bonus now affect all damage instead of only just core skills. Aspects. Relentless Berserker aspect duration increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Battle Mad aspect Berserking duration increased from 8 starter duration and it got increased from 2 to 3 seconds. Okay. Brawler's aspect damage increased from doubled or even more. Aspect of Burning Rage damage. Aspect of Iron War damage. Okay, this is like the new game. Wow. Wow. I love the boosts. Slacking aspect lucky hit chance increased from 30% to 50%. Oh my god, this video gonna have some boosters on this thumbnail. Wow. Aspect of Ancestral Echoes lucky hit chance increased from 40% to 50%, and then wow, lucky hit chance. Everything is increased, everything is added. Items. Gore Devastating Grips now explodes every 2 seconds after it ends, and its hit cap now been removed. Fields of Crimson Bleeding damage bonus increased from 10% to 50%. It's only buffs. There was only one thing that reduced a vulnerable damage after bleed was applied. Everything else is just buffs. Wait, because there were so many nerfs. Yeah. Okay. Updates are both seasonal and Eternal Realm. Cool. Let's go with Druid. Druid, what kind of thing you got? Druid. Enhanced claws, attack speed increased, storm strike damage reduced. Yeah, there we go. Boulder damage increase. I'm not sure how to use the skill in any scenario. Salvage trample skin. Okay, I'm using this, so this is cool. Prime Lacquerate healing increase from 3% to 5%. Catalysm lightning strike. Tornado damage. No one likes Storm Strike, everyone likes everything else. Supreme Cataclysm, vulnerable duration from 2 to 3 seconds. Cataclysm, increased duration. Prime Grizzly Rage now grants unstoppable for 6 seconds instead of while active. So that's a balance. When you cast it, it's there. When you don't cast it, oh yeah, that's a balance, of course. Otherwise, it's OP. A provocation threshold now requires for guaranteed overpower reduced from provocation required for guaranteed. Oh, so now you need to wait less seconds in order for your overpower to be added to your character as a passive. So you need to wait less time to deal more damage. Spirit Boon. Okay, so these are the passives of the class. Okay, lucky hit now also requires a lucky hit chance of. I don't understand. Is this the animal passives? Supposed to be? No. So he's also lucky hit chance. Prescient thorns increase from what? Iron Father maximize. Yeah, so this is the passives from the animals that you can get. Overload damage, but this is you need to know exactly what's changing in order to track the changes. Paragon, Spirit Glyph now bonus effect. Okay, so this is, I believe, for all of the classes. Cool, more builds. Aspects of Calm Breeze, lucky hit chance increase from 5% to 12%. Balance maximum spirit. So this is not sure when you're going to use it, if core skills no longer is a viable option. Aspect of Trample bonus increased, more damage for damage gap closing ability. Skinwalker healing increased, so that's a buff. Symbolic aspect cooldown reduced. Man, I love this patch. Aspect of the Temple damage bonus increased from Shepherd's damage bonus increased for. I'm speechless a bit. It's only buffs. Insatiable Fury Werebear skill ranks increased from 2 to 3. Mad Wolf's Glare Wolf skill ranks increased from 2 to 3. Items. So this is the generic item boost that gives you even more power. So Druid feels boosted, like a lot. Necromancer, what we have here? Incinerate, Decomposed. It's decomposed. It's so funny. Slow increase from 30 to 50% per normal server cast required for vulnerable, reduced from 4 to 5%. Sorry if I read the names incorrectly. I'm not really too close with the Necromancer or how the skills are built. I have my memory from 1 month ago when I played the Necromancer, or just having level 10 and dying. So yeah. Enhanced Blood Surge healing increase from, that's a boost. Blood lance damage reduction for piercing reduced from, oh, that's a boost. Bone Prison initial escape gained increased from initial essence gain, sorry. Abhorrent Iron Maiden healing increased from 5% to 7%. Golems move faster and unhindered through enemies while they're when their cooldown is activated. Supreme Blood Wave leaves behind blood orbs earlier in its path. Raise Skeleton, Corpse Explosion, Corpse Tendrils, range for auto targeting, corpse on mouse and keyboard increased by 50%. So close to end screen. So that's a buff. Whoa, Corpse Explosion in a, whoa. Raise Skeleton, Priest bonus damage increased from 20 to 30%. Priest healing increased as well. Passives. Evolution bonus damage to vulnerable reduced from... So this is a slight reduce. Transfer minion healing increased from... That's a buff. Drain vitality, lucky hit chance from... Amplify damage increased. God damn it, everything is increased. It really feels like those patch notes are made... These patch notes are made for the original game, that the way it's supposed to be played. It's really strange. Everything is up. Every single class is up. Book of the Dead. Necromancer minions will now automatically resummon after spawning during world boss fight? No way. No way. Skeleton warrior. Defenders upgrade thorns inherited. Increase from 40% to 50%. Shadow Skeleton Mage upgrade attacks required for additional Shadow Bolt, now reduced from 5 to 4. Bone Skeleton Mage upgrade 45 amount increased from 11% to 20%. Iron Golems upgrade attacks required for slam attacks. You can now play as summoner and don't give a damn about anything. Your summons are cool. They're gonna be resummoned during the boss fight. Necromancer is looking very, very lit. Very, very lit. Paragon Essence Glyph bonus now affects all damage instead of just core abilities. Splintering Aspect Bone Shard for damage bonus reduced from 50% to 100%. Jesus. Wait. Yeah, so this is balanced. Aspect of Plundering damage bonus. Coldbringer's aspect loosen cooldown result. Aspect of a hungry blood chance to fire and blood lance increase from 20% to... That's a buff. Blood soaked aspect. Okay. Ultimate shadow damage increased. Grappling weights critical damage reduced. Critical damage reduced, but overall damage is increased. So you have more of a consistent damage. Gale aspect bonus for Bone Storm duration increased from 4 to 8 seconds to additional couple of seconds. I think they're increasing a couple of seconds for the aspects that no one actually is using, but they're trying to convince players that you should try it out and this could be awesome and could be essential to your new build that you're trying to make. Okay, aspect of the damage bonus increased from 30% to 40%, got increased by 10% additionally. Aspect echo damage reduction from I don't know what kind of the aspect is this. Aspect of reanimation skeleton's damage bonus increased. Blizzard wants to see summoner necromancers raised from the dead, raised from the grave, and it's about time for them to appear in this game. Next we have bloodness cream essence gain from increased gain. Deathless visage increased. So Necromancer is having so many buffs, so many balance updates that it's, for me, it looks like S tier class to play. Not sure about Barbarian, but Necromancer for sure it looks like S tier. I haven't went into anything else, but it looks a hottest class in the game. Okay, let's look at the Rogue. I'm a little bit scared about going into Rogue because Rogue is just it's all about math. It's scary. Rogue is one of those classes that relies on you clicking the right buttons at the right time, and when you do that right, you're gonna have massive damage. And if you're not going to do that, you may say that the class is not pulling the huge numbers. That's what I heard. As well, it requires you to click a lot. Okay. Wait. This is Sorcerer. No. This is Rogue. Rogue. This is Rogue. Yeah, this is Rogue. Rogue. Yes, I can see. I have to guess the icons. I'm not sure why this is happening, but yeah, I see only part of the part of the class. So skills: advanced rapid fire duration increased. So more time in firing rapid fire. Cold troops cast increased by 15%. Enhanced cold immune lucky hit chance increased. Smoke grenade damage increased. Dash cooldown reduction increase. So this is a balance. Concluded stage stealth duration increased. So they want you to hide as assassin. Enhancement dark shroud chance not to be consumed increased from 10% to 14%. I don't know. Supreme death trap cooldown reduced from, so no one was using this. Or no, sorry, everyone was using this. However, there was a nerf regards to trap damage. Therefore, not sure how Rogue's gonna play out the trap thingies now. Okay, passives: victimized lucky hit chance increased. Warning strikes now also requires lucky hit chance of 75%. Rugged damage reduction against damage over time effects increased a bit. Mending up obscurity healing per second, while stealth increased from 3% to 4% and just additional couple of percents moving forward. So they're trying to move you towards more stealth approach, but I'm not really sure why you should go that route if you're totally fine dealing damage from any sort of direction and you're as quick as a bolt. There's no reason just buffing yourself and just losing one skill point when you can just do more damage or just have more evasive ability rather than having stealth and just disappear. You're the fastest class in the game. I believe the way I see a stealth working is if you have damage increase, when you come out of stealth or when you click stealth, you get brand new skills. That's the only way I would be convinced moving towards stealth. Aftermath energy restored increased from 15 to a little bit more. Paragon. So all core skills are now viable to play, not only the core skills. Eldritch Bounty Legendary no duration increased from 6 seconds to 9 seconds. I don't know this sorry. Specialization preparation ultimate cooldown reduced from cooldown reduction increased. Okay, that's a nerf. Legendary aspects. Shadow damage increase. Chill increase. Wow. Jesus. Shadow slicer aspect damage increased more than double. Triple. Yeah, triple. Even more. Toxic alchemist damage increased. Oh my god, this is huge numbers. Like, I don't know. Are they compensating for trap damage? Check it out. Aspect lucky hit chance. When taken in bullet duration increase. Stolen vigor healing double. Lethal dusk life kill duration increased from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. Noxus size bonus damage increased from 10 to 4. Everything is dodge chance increased from. Why have dodge chance and stealth? You're still gonna have plenty of defenses. I don't get it. This is I don't get it. Item Sky Hunter energy increased from double. Not double. Sorry. Gasp Shadow lucky hit chance increased from 20 to 30% to 24 to 34%. I don't know. Seems like really they're compensating Rogue for having so much direct bonuses from enhancing yourself with a certain element, either it is shadow element or poison element, and laying a trap. Enemy steps in the trap, they get poisoned or affected by the ability. and then you get your damage boosters, right? It really seems like they want you to move away from traps, as now traps will be more or less situational, the way I feel, and as they will not be dealing so much damage, it would be like your crowd control ability, either in PvP or PvE, when you need to escape or do some sort of additional mechanics rather than just dealing additional damage, because dealing additional damage in this scenario would be a waste of your skill points if you would be investing into traps. And you could clearly see from the aspects you can invest into anything else rather than traps, and you're gonna deal massive damage. Okay, Sorcerer. For Sorcerers we have, I hope they're gonna have a massive boost for Sorcerer, because Sorcerer needs some helping hand, needs some medical attention. The class is very weak, despite this being one of the most beautiful classes I have ever seen in the video game. Enhanced charge skills. Enhanced charge bolts damage increased from 24% to 30%. Now benefits from skill ranks. Oh, it didn't before? That's great. Destructive charge bolts damage reduction increased from more damage reduction. Destructive inserted damage reduction increased from more. Ice Blade's cast cleanup now been tightened, allowing players to act up their cast sooner. Okay. Initial damage increased. Okay. More than double. Almost close to double. Wizard Firewall maximum increased. Maximum increased mana generation. Increased from 25% to 35%. Okay. So this is like still a passive. Wizard's Blizzard core skill mana cost reduction increased from 10% to 20%. Supreme Deep Freeze reduction increased from... So you have, rather than 90 seconds cooldown, it's going to be like 50 seconds cooldown. Or 45 seconds. Okay. That's very little. Passives. Elemental Dominance now also affects master skills instead of just core skills. Potent warding duration increased from... Protection barrier duration increased. So this is minor. Align elements damage reduction per second increased from 123 to 369. Mana shield damage reduction increased from 2% to okay. Devouring Blade bonus critical strike damage reduction from up to 30% to... Okay, so they are reducing critical strike damage, as it would not be no longer main focus of the game, so that you would ignore the main damage and solely focus on dealing as much critical damage as possible, so that you could stack it up. They're trying to limit the numbers. Devouring Blaze bonus critical damage reduced from, yeah, as I just mentioned. Fairly Surge mana regeneration increased from 10, 20, 30% to 15. Okay. I'm very sad. Okay, let's see surprises. Destructive Glyph now affects all core skills, same as other classes. Wonderful. Enhancements. Spark enchantment chance to form crackling energy now is increased. I didn't feel this skill to be such a good thing, because it does so little damage. And it's kind of annoying just to pick up. It should be like auto pickup button or something like that, same as Necromancer that can consume corpses or explode corpses. There should be an ability that could explode the sparkling energy, as you're the only one that can see it. Frozen Orb enhancement chance to be cast increased from 20% to 30%. Incinerate enhancement cooldown reduced from Hydra enhancement mana threshold reduced from... Okay. Legendary aspect. Aspect of efficient mana cost reduction is increased. Aspect of Armageddon damage increased from Okay. Aspect of shattering stars damage increased from Serpentine. Aspect of Hydra reduced. I don't really get it. These aspects are more or less balanced. You know, the problem with the Sorceress is that not each and every skill and passives work properly. Therefore, Sorceress is very weak, and I was hoping that the damage is going to be increased as drastically as other classes. However, I'm shocked that it is not. It really looks like the Sorcerer is either a maximum crowd control class that's not mainly focused on dealing as much damage as possible as it is in most of the games. It's really focused on you being like a person that can control the enemy, and instead of dealing a massive amounts of damage, you can just constantly slow enemy, be always on the move, and you dealing not so many damage is still fully enough to complete the game, kill any sort of enemy in close combat, range combat, and as well do the very same thing in PvP. By the theory, that should be the thing, but in reality I'm not too sure how much of it's true, because I have played Sorceress before, and seeing that there's so minor updates, it's really scary. I'm not convinced returning to the Sorcerer, sorry. And I wish to. Aspect of Frozen Tundra Ice Spikes damage increased. Aspect of Frozen Wave Spikes increased. Aspect of Biting Change of Frozen Enemy increased. That. So Sorcerer needs to rely on aspects that are increased. Free cast increased. Aspect of Splintering Energy, chance to spawn additional lightning spear increased by more than double. Aspect of Unbroken Tether, chance of additional train light chain. I don't get it. There's aspects that are boosted, but skills are not. So skills are perfect? What's happening? Items. Glows of Illuminator Fireball damage reduction reduced from this number to lower by 10%. Also, Hellroom critical strike chance from Mage Speed increased from 15%, 25% to 20 to 30%, and over. Is there anything that's increased? I don't know. For me personally, Sorceress, there's additional notes that I need to read, but Sorceress really feels like the class that received less love than I was ever expecting for it to receive. I don't know. Sorry. So those were the classes. Now let's look at the general updates. We're almost done here. General updates, we have the aspect, which is more general. Aspect of Disobedience maximum stacks reduced from from 100 to 60, reducing maximum bonus armor from. Okay, so players going to be more squishy. So I know I used this on the Druid. Aspect of Retribution bonus damage to stunned enemies reduced from. So this is Barbarian focused. Exploiter's aspect bonus to Unstoppable reduced from. I don't know who used this. Starlight aspect resource restored increase from. Yeah, it's easy to restore and increase those things because core skills is no longer the main thing of the game. Items. The Butcher's Cleaver, slow increased from. Yeah, great. Drop rate adjustments. Increased bonus to drop ancestral and sacred items in a nightmare dungeons by a double chance. Now it's up to 10%. Removed 20% chance to drop an extra equipment from elite monsters outside the nightmare dungeons and held tight. Increased chance to drop an extra equipment item from an elite monster in nightmare dungeon and held tight by 10%. Thank you. Nightmare dungeons now have 50% chance to drop second legendary item upon completion. That's good. Nightmare dungeons now give 3 rare items upon completion, up from 1. That's cool. That's nice. I like that. I like that. Monsters. Increased HP scaling from 85% to 100% bonus per extra player in the party. Okay. So we're going to need more damage. So it's kinda intentional. Miscellaneous. Adjusted scaling of the Greed Shrine to improve its effectiveness through the game. Thank you. The Greed Shrine is the one that's dropping you gold. So if you're not getting, I honestly thought that this is a waste of time me even taking the shrine, or if I have it I can just skip it. It was just dropping nonsense, too little amounts. I'm very happy that it was improved. World bosses now drop potions more often. Good. They need to add more mechanics to bosses. Really. There is no longer a limit on how many materials you can refine into higher materials at once. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, because it was confusing, where I was able to only make like 15 of the herbs at once, or 15 potions at once. If I want to make 100 potions, let me do that. There shouldn't be any sort of limitations of the game, as I have plenty of materials to do hundreds of crafts. Okay, item affixes. Developer note: many affixes are too efficient than rare outshining alternatives. We are looking into refining the outliers, improve the number of meaningful choices to competitive slots, and increase overall flexibility of the items. We know these changes will reduce the total number of possible power a character can possess, so we'll be monitoring how these changes affect players' ability to conquer expected milestones through the season. So these things could be modified, but let's just take a look what kind of things we have. We're increasing the availability of the affixes below to make them easier to include in different builds. Controlled impaired duration reduction can now appear in bands. Bear generation can now appear now also dropping the... Okay. Lucky hit chance while you have a barrier now appears for all classes. Oh, not only the sorceress. Reduced on helm, on the blah blah blah. Mastery skill damage now can be added. Resistance to all elements can now appear on shields. Core strat bonus on weapons has been overperforming, so we're pulling back on this bonus. Okay. Strength, dexterity, intelligence, blah blah blah. Stronger one on weapons. It's nerf because they're turning it into 25% on weapons. So I think this is only applying to standard edition, because in the Malignant we will be using different sort of sockets rather than... Wait, no, it's not about sockets, it's about stats that you're gonna have when you will have an item or rolling the item. So Paragon points will be harder to obtain. So therefore the character is going to be squishier and weaker, despite the fact that you will have such a big bonuses to the class and then overall skills of the classes. Okay. Cooldown reduction. Yeah, let's read first. Cooldown reduction affixes often felt mandatory due to their raw power. We imagine cooldown reduction will remain highly desirable slot, but penalty for not prioritizing it won't be such harsh. Cooldown reduction reduced by 30%. Emboldened skill cooldown reduction reduced by 30%. Trap skill cooldown reduced. They're nerfed. We're seeing critical strike damage and vulnerable damage often viewed as a hard requirement. That is very true. for build success in Diablo 4. We believe this is a step towards allowing more builds to flourish, and will continue to make changes as it supports its goal. So, critical strike damage reduced by 17%. I believe this is the number that is collected from all of the classes, all of the skills, and they're making this number as a rounded number based on all of the changes that they have placed above. This is not a... This is number from all of the changes we see in other classes. Lightning, critical strike damage reduced by 17%. Critical strike damage with Bone Earth, Imminent, and Werewolf skills reduced by 17%. Vulnerable damage by 40%. Ooh la la. Disparities in inherited affix can rule some weapons out before the rest of their stats are even rolled. These are receiving harsher reductions than their normal affix counterparts to increase weapon flexibility. Okay. Cooldown reduction. Inherit on offhands. Cooldown reduction is reduced by 30%, 35%. Critical strike damage on swords by 50%. Crossbows will have reduced vulnerable damage. Okay. Okay, so but these are the changes that will affect each and every sort of weapon in the game. Okay, swords, crossbows, offhand. Can I see maces? I don't see maces. I don't see lances. So basically swords, crossbows, and something that is in your offhand. It's not going to be as useful as it was before. Okay, damage bonus to crowd control enemies was on the damage to crowd control enemies decreased by 30%. Damage to frozen enemies increased by 20%. Okay. The developer saying and telling us, we have seen the skillful players are frequently slaughtering monsters many levels above their own. We want to support this, but the current situation is beyond what we believe is correct for the long-term health of the game. To choose this goal, we're shifting power to many offensive affixes from defensive affixes. We know this will make our end game content more deadly, particularly for those chasing our pinnacle boss, an encounter not meant for the faint of heart. Overcoming the pinnacle boss will take every ounce of grit you can muster and all tools at your disposal. We will continue to evaluate feedback from the community and make changes to our combat mechanics. I don't know. Physical damage. Oh my god. Okay. I thought that this is going to be harsh thing, but okay, of course they're referring to the things that was again added throughout all of the changes that we read in each and every class. So these are huge buffs. Physical damage increased by 25%, fire 25%, cold 25%, lightning, poison, shadow, non-physical. So each and every damage type, two-handed weapon, slashing weapon, dual wielding, everything is physical damage over time. Poison, damage while in human form, damage while every sort of form in the game is increased. Okay, bleed, fire damage over time, physical damage over time, shadow damage over time is increased drastically. Conjuration skill, each and every type of skill in the game is increased. It's what a time we're living in. It's an amazing time. Trap damage skill increased, however we know that it was working previously incorrectly, so maybe more of a balance rather than nerf. I was too harsh on this skill to start it at first, but total armor reduced, damage increased, So more damage, less armor, more challenge. Monsters gonna be at lower levels, but you're gonna have a higher challenge. It seems kind of fun. Attack speed for 4 seconds after dodging attack is increased. Damage reduction after. Everything that gives you armor is bumped out. Damage reduction reduced. Everything that gives you armor is off. Everything that gives you damage is up. I think this is one of the this is patch notes that's going to be added to the history books. I have not seen anything like this where each and every class was receiving so many buffs. It's magical really to see. Barbarian, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue. 4 classes that will dominate the area. Sorcerer, I don't really see any sort of changes, drastic changes. I'm torn between 2 classes that I think could potentially be OP in this new season after reading just those patch notes. It's either Barbarian or Necromancer. Rogue is I don't know. I think Rogue as its own can go on its own leaderboards, as Rogue is OP. It really looks like Rogue going to be OP if it can apply bleed or shadow damage over time. It will be unstoppable once again. But Necromancer and Barbarian for sure going to be competing with Rogue. Honestly, I think Necromancer and Rogue could be the strongest classes those in this season. Especially Necromancer and especially Rogue. Yeah. Sorcerer I'm not even mentioning, as Sorcerer had such a minor buffs to the class. I was shocked actually to see such a silent treatment from the community, as the community was asking for the buff. But skills did not receive so many buffs. And yeah. So yeah, those were the patch notes. I think I'm gonna read Malignant patch notes next. If you want to see those, head out to the video somewhere here on the screen. This video was long enough. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next one.